All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to tell the origin story of our online world. And it's a story that doesn't start with some global network or a big tech company. Nope, it starts with a strange box in a record shop and one of the worst blizzards in history.
So, let's just set the scene. You have to remember, this is way before the internet as we know it. But that desire we all have to connect with each other digitally, oh, it was already there, and it was sparking some seriously creative and frankly kind of weird ideas.
So our story kicks off in a Berkeley record store, of all places. Right there, under a regular cork bulletin board, you would have found this very peculiar machine called community memory. And I mean, it looked like a teletypewriter just kind of jammed into a big cardboard box, but it was so much more than that.
Yeah, see, this wasn't just some gadget. Its creators were really deep in the whole counterculture movement of the time, and they saw this thing as a revolutionary tool. The idea was to create this channel where there were no gatekeepers, no hierarchy, just a way for people to connect and, build a stronger community right there on the street. Using it was, well, it was clunky and super physical. You literally drop coins in, type out your message on this loud terminal, and it would connect to a massive mainframe computer somewhere else. It basically became this digital flea market. You could find a new guitarist for your band, share some poetry, or, hey, even find someone else who was really into bagels.
But this early dream, it ran headfirst into the limits of the day's technology. It was expensive, it was painfully slow. We're talking 300 bits per second, which is almost nothing. And the connections would just drop all the time. It was a bold experiment for sure, but it eventually had to shut down in 1975.
So the idea of a digital bulletin board was out there, but it needed a catalyst, right? It needed some kind of moment to force it into existence. And that catalyst, believe it or not, showed up in the form of a truly historic snowstorm.
So it's early 1978, and Chicago is just buried under feet and feet of snow. Everyone is trapped at home. And two computer hobbyists, Christensen and Randy Suess, they figure, hey, what better time to finally build that project our computer club has been dreaming about? A digital bulletin board anyone could call into from their own home computer.
And what they created was the world's very first public dial-up BBS. It was just a single S100 computer running Ward software in Randy's home. It was cleverly built to automatically answer the phone, let a user log in, do their thing, and then hang up when they were finished.
But here's the thing. This brilliant invention had one incredible limitation. It was, quite literally, a single phone line. That meant only one person could connect at a time. The line was almost always busy. As soon as one user hung up, the next person in the virtual line could finally get their chance to dial in. Can you even imagine that today?
Now, this CBBS idea, it just exploded. Pretty soon, hundreds of these systems were popping up all over the place. But here's the catch. Every single one was its own isolated island, its own little digital tribe, with a system operator, or sysop, kinda acting as the chief.
And of course, people on one BBS wanted to talk to people on another. So in 1984, a programmer named Tom Jennings came up with FidoNet, which was this brilliant and honestly kind of bonkers solution for linking all these separate digital worlds together.
This was basically a network before the internet was really a public thing. Every single night, in the wee hours when the phone rates were dirt cheap, all these BBS systems would automatically call each other. They passed these compressed bundles of messages and files from one system to the next, like a digital Pony Express, until everything got to where it was going.
And this right here, shows you the incredible dedication of these early pioneers. If you wanted to connect to a BBS in another city, that was a long-distance call. We're talking maybe $1 a minute. The most hardcore users could rack up phone bills of over $600 a day. A day? That's just a staggering amount of money to think about. So here's the really crucial point. At the same time, yeah, the official government-funded ARPANET did exist, but that was a closed world, right? It was for the military and academics. The BBS world was the total opposite. It was a grassroots, populist movement built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. All you needed was a PC and a modem, and boom, you were in.
And this grassroots movement was really just getting started. By the early 1990s, these BBSs were evolving like crazy. They were becoming way more graphical, much more user-friendly, and they were really hitting their cultural peak.
I mean, we're not just talking text on a black screen anymore. Systems like this one, Excalibur, had features that feel shockingly modern. Full graphical interfaces, instant messaging, online games with actual sound, and even a jukebox for background music. And you have to remember, all of this was happening over a screechy dial-up modem.
But, and it's a big but, just as BBS culture was hitting its absolute zenith, this other thing arrived on the scene, the World Wide Web. It offered a totally different model, one that was more accessible, more interconnected, and its rapid rise directly triggered the decline of the BBS.
But you know, the story doesn't just end there. The spirit, the actual DNA of the BBS, it didn't die. No way. It just got passed on to a whole new generation of platforms.
Seriously, just think about the online communities you use every single day. Their fundamental structure, their whole reason for existing, you can trace it all directly back to these quirky, pioneering systems.
I mean, from the massive communities on Reddit to all those specialized forums for literally every hobby you can imagine, the core idea is exactly the same. It's a digital gathering place for discussion and sharing. That's a BBS. It's just the same concept, now with a much faster connection.
It really is an amazing legacy when you think about it. What this story truly shows is that revolutionary ideas often don't come from giant corporations or big government projects. They come from passionate people who are just trying to solve a simple, fundamental problem. In this case, the need to connect. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the next blizzard going to be? What unexpected thing is going to spark the next great leap forward?